Everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, and the movie I'm going to take a look at right now is The Wrong Missy. Now, this one comes from Netflix. It is directed by Tyler Spindell, and this one stars David Spade as Tim Morris. And Tim thinks he invited the woman of his dreams on a work retreat to Hawaii, realizing too late he mistakenly texted someone from a nightmare blind date, and that blind date is played by Lauren Lapkus. So he meets someone else. He thinks he got the number. He texts the wrong number, and the wrong person shows up. So hijinks ensue. And of course, she is going to be the polar opposite. You know how this is going to go. Maybe they fall in love. I don't really know. So, going into this, I didn't really expect much, but this is, a Happy Madison Productions, Adam Sandler's company. He's got the contract with Netflix, so he's going to pump out these comedies, and maybe one of them will work one of these days, but this one did not work well for me, even though I thought the concept was, it's set up for, a nice little comedy you can waste an hour and a half of your time with and move on, but this one just didn't really strike at all with me. So I don't think I've enjoyed any of the Adam Sandler produced comedy, maybe even some of them starring Netflix movies. It's just none of them have done it so far. This one had potential for sure, but I do think a lot of it kind of just falls flat. So as a comedy, it approaches itself as a gross out comedy. There's a lot of gross out gags. Lauren Lapkus is very loud. She is very crude. And so that's where, most of the comedy comes from. The scenarios that she gets herself in, or David Spade finds himself in, they're a lot more gross out sexual gags and, not really kind of playing the balance of like raunchy and sweet, because you can do that with these type of romantic comedies. This was more gross out fronted, and I don't mind those movies either. Just this one didn't really work well for me. Those gags didn't make me laugh at all. There was a couple lines uttered by some of the smaller characters that caught me off guard, but other than that, it was kind of just a very loud movie with its jokes, and none of it really hit me. So that is the first kind of problem. As a comedy, didn't work on that front. As a kind of romance movie between these two, I could see the potential. It was there, but by the time all the sweet stuff happened towards the end, I really didn't care, just because I was so either bored with the story, bored with the characters, or the humor was just falling flat for me. So I didn't really care about their emotional relationship when they got to the end of the film. Another problem with it is that David Spade doesn't commit. Lauren Lapkus, I liked her in this movie. She could have been in a better movie for sure, but she commits to her role. Like, she's having fun with this role. And even when she gets down to like the, low points in this person's life, like, you can see that switch in her. Like, she's going from like this very loud party type of person to, oh, she's got deep issues. And, she is not expressing them in the way that's healthy. And so when she gets to those parts, you feel for her. Like, you feel for that person, and she delivers a great job in doing that. She commits to her role. But David Spade does not. Like, he's sleepwalking through this thing, and maybe Adam Sandler would have been a better pick. I have no clue, but David Spade replaced him, and I just felt like he was not on the same level as Lapkus. Like, she was really in this thing, and I really think if you would have had someone to been a really great yang to her yin, like, we would have had something, at least tolerable to watch, and maybe something slightly entertaining. But he does kind of drag it down for me. And, I think David Spade, still to this day, I still think he's a funny person. Tommy Boy is one of my favorite, comedies of all time. But, as he just gets older, I don't know, it's just not working. And maybe he'll find the right script one of these days. Maybe he'll find the right movie. But this is not for me. I do think he is upstaged by his counterpart for sure. All of the ancillary characters, Nick Swartzen pops up, Rob Schneider, Adam Sandler favorites, and it's whatever. Some of the other, characters, they say some funny lines, but it's not anything to save the movie. It's just like those small little bits don't make the movie any better. It's something that catches you off guard, and you're like, okay, I chuckled, but okay, what was the whole point of that? My experience. That's what I look for the overall thing, but small moments like that just don't do it for me. I just kind of traveled on. I don't even know what I was saying, guys. It's been a long quarantine. But yeah, I do think this movie has potential for sure to be more of a balance of the raunchy and sweet type of approach. I just feel like the gross out front of this and having Tyler Spindell really push that forward as a director and be like, this is what we're going for, which you can do that. You just need to land with those jokes. They just don't do that. But if he would have made it more of a balance and more of a balance in the story and balance in the performances, I think he would have had something pretty decent. But I just think as an overall comedy to watch on Netflix, if you want to watch it in the background, sure, it can be great background noise. I don't think it's anything that's going to get your attention. But if you love these type of like kind of goofy, slapsticky, gross out comedies, you might get a kick out of it. Just wasn't for me. I'll give it a D+, and I'm going to give it the plus only because I like Lapkus in it, and she had the more well-rounded character, and she delivered it way better than David Spade. So that will do it for The Wrong Missy. Let me know down below what you thought of the movie. Like I said, there's really nothing else to talk about. It's shot in, I think, Hawaii or wherever it was shot at. It's a vacation resort. It looks nice. There's really nothing more to say about that. Yeah, it's just it's a movie that relies on its gags and its jokes, and I just didn't think it accomplished that. So let me know down below what you thought of The Wrong Missy. Good or bad, I read all the comments, even if I don't reply to all of them. Please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get up to date on when I review anything. If you are more of a podcast person, you're listening to this on podcast form on the Real Me In Cold and Movie podcast feed, subscribe to that so you can get all these reviews in podcast form and whatever other extra content me and my co-host decide to throw at you. So that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.